I felt so stupid, but you can't blame me. It's not my fault. I didn't grow up with a toilet that flushes itself. We always come on here and tell you why you should relocate abroad. We talk about immigration. There are so many YouTube videos out there telling you to migrate, go find job here. But what we forget to tell you is that relocation, immigration, is not an easy process. It's not meant for everybody. It's not for the faint-hearted. My name is Priscilla Kuma. I'm a registered nurse. I originally come from Ghana, and I'm based in USA, New York State. And I practice nursing here, obviously. My channel is mainly about migration, nursing, lifestyle, food, and everything. And also the lead consultant for USRN Pathway Consult. Yes, right there. If you're a registered nurse, midwife, psychiatric nurse who wants to work abroad and don't know how to go about it, come reach out to us at www.usrnpathwayconsult.com, and then we start your process. So this video is going to be very freestyle. Nothing is well thought out. Nothing is written down. It's just going to come from my head, and it's inspired by a conversation I just had with my friend literally 5 minutes ago. She is married to somebody who is about to relocate, and she's entertaining certain fears. They have children, and she doesn't know, I'm okay, I'm doing okay in Ghana. Why should I leave and follow my husband to USA or to UK? Such questions have always been coming to my attention. People think I should speak about it because I end up giving them good advice, backdoor, one-on-one phone call. So I think you would benefit from this as well. Are you a spouse of somebody who has relocated, or somebody who is about to relocate, or a spouse to a nurse, or a spouse to a doctor, somebody who is a lawyer, an engineer, pharmacy? Their career is already set. Wherever they go in the world, they're going to find a job. But you are not a nurse. You are not a teacher. You are not a doctor. You are not an engineer. You don't know your fate when you go to that country to join your spouse. And you are doing okay, sort of okay wherever you are. And you're thinking if it's worth leaving everything you've acquired, where you've risen to at work, leaving your acquired properties, leaving your loved ones, friends, family, children, whatever, to travel and join your loved ones. Recently, I interviewed somebody who was a physician assistant in Ghana, and then she had to leave all that behind in a very good mining company, leave all that behind and join her husband, who is a student here. I get that question many times, and I think it's high time I do a video on that and bring that to your attention. So you're wondering, will I find a job? Will the kids be trained naturally, especially in the African way? Will they speak the language? Will I be lonely? You guys don't have a social life there. All you do is take good photos and post on the internet. Will I know my neighbors? The crime rate is high. You have all these concerns. I am here to tell you that they are very legitimate. Those are the realities on ground. Life abroad is very different. The people are different. The culture is different. The weather is different. Everything is different. Even as basic as flushing a toilet, you can go to some bathrooms and you don't know where to press because there's nothing to press. The toilet is going to flush itself, and somebody has to show you. This is my personal experience. I went there, I did not know what to do. I had to spend about half hour in there trying to Google online to find how to flush this toilet. And then I think I had my purse, so I got up to take something from it, and I heard the sound behind me. I looked behind, and the poop was gone. Yes. And I felt so stupid, but you can't blame me. It's not my fault. I didn't grow up with a toilet that flushes itself, and I had to learn that. And anytime I get into a bathroom, that memory comes back. So your concerns are legitimate. The anxiety is legitimate. You are worried if your partner goes to school abroad or goes to work abroad, will they still remember you? Will the marriage still be valid? Will the relationship still be valid? Will they move on with somebody else? Will they call and tell you they are no longer going to do this? Will they be coming home? Should I stay home for them to be visiting me back and forth? Or should I be visiting back and forth? Should I move the kids? Should I come alone? All these questions are on your mind. And all attention is being focused on the professional, the nurse, the teacher, the lawyer who has found a job. And we neglect you, the loved ones. But this video is for you, okay? Did I mention my name? I think I did, Priscilla Kuma. So, reality 101, life abroad is not rosy. Even though we make it look rosy, we take beautiful photos, nice background, it is not rosy. The reality is that you have to be very independent. You have to be a fast thinker. Life abroad makes you find some skills that you never knew you had. You have to learn to be quick. You have to learn to be assertive, vocal, speak up for yourself. If you are timid, you cannot make it here. You have to speak up at workplaces. You have to make decisions, and you cannot be indecisive. That is not to say there are not people here who are like that, but you need to be very independent, especially for a woman. You need to have your financial independence as well. So in my case, when I was coming, I prepared some money, even though I was coming to my spouse over here. You have to save up some money, bring that with you when you're traveling, because anything can happen. The person to receive you at the airport might not show up. You might you might need to buy some snack to eat. You never know. You have to pay for Uber or something. So you'd always have to save some money. As soon as you as a household decide that this is what we want to do, one person has to take the lead. Maybe the wife wants to take the lead, or the husband or the boyfriend. One person is going to go first. Whilst you are home behind, my advice to you is that be saving some money, because you're going to need it. The person bringing you over, be it your husband or your wife, will do their part, buy the tickets, whatever, if you are lucky. But you still need some money in your pocket, because at least for the first 6 months, you're going to be home with no job. It is the reality. If you join your partner first, at least for the first minimum 3 months, you are home trying to figure out what to do. And as I said, if you are not a professional, you will not have a nursing job. Even if you are a professional, it will take years for you to get your license to practice. And some of us have worked so much as women. We've become very independent, very active. So we are not used to staying at home and asking our partners to give us money for food, money for salt, money for pad. You used to go to the ATM, withdraw your own money, write your own check, buy your own thing anywhere, anyhow you want. This time around, that will not happen. Marriages abroad are suffering because it's a very different dynamic to what we are used to. And sometimes to our African parents do a big disservice to the men. The normal average African man grows up not knowing how to do basic house chores, cook, clean, and raise kids, take care of the kids, hold the kids down. But when you come abroad, you're going to be running shift systems. One person is at work, the other is at home nursing the kids. And as soon as the other is back, the other is out. And now the house chores have to be split. Somebody has to clean the bathroom. Somebody has to cook. Somebody has to take the kids to games. Somebody has to do laundry. This time around, the African man will not sit down and fold his hands and watch this happen. Somebody has to go mow the lawn. Somebody has to plow the snow. So it becomes a very tight-knit family. That is not to say that abroad can break your marriage or can make it work. You are either so bonded together because the space is small and you don't have any external family members interacting in the relationship, or you can be so detached with the shift system. You going for morning and he going for afternoon. You can be so separated, it will become like a housemate situation whereby by the time one is back, the other one is at work. By the time the other one is back, the other one is at work. You're never going to see each other, and then you begin to detach emotionally, and then the fights start trickling in. There's room for other errors, room for people to go outside and do other things that mess up the home. So marriages abroad can be close-knitted, or it can fall apart. You can make or break it based on what your common goals are. Sometimes one partner will feel like, I have sacrificed a lot. I stayed home raising the kids, and you were out there pursuing the certificates and getting your master's and getting your PhD. And I equally have that paper, but I had to stay back home and be pregnant once, twice, thrice. This is the time for me to also make something out of my life. That conflict is very real. I am surrounded by so many people who are facing the same thing. Naturally, the system favors the man because the man does not walk around. The man of yesterday, not today, does not walk around pregnant and being stagnant for 9 months. People can still do all and combine. This topic will be you might agree or disagree, but these are purely my opinion. Feel free to express yours in the comment section and let me see what you're going through. These are legitimate issues. I don't just come out and do videos for the sake of it. I have real life conversations. People are entertaining fears. Will Nigeria be stable? Will I stay and continue my oil business? Will I stay and continue my hair braiding business? Do you think I cannot make it? I have a house. I built a small house. I have a car. I have a small salon. Do you think we'll not make it? We are not saying home is terrible. But the fact is, if your child goes to school, can you afford the fees for quality education? Do you sleep with all eyes closed knowing your child will come back home safely? And do you know that when that child gets out of college, there's a job that is waiting for them? The uncertainties are so many. The uncertainties are so many. There are so many basic things that have become a norm to me that I don't even think about it. I'm not rushing home to charge my phone because at 6 p.m. the lights are going to go out. If you live and you're watching from Nigeria, this is norm. Everybody has a genset generator. If you are watching from Ghana, they call it doomso. You're on a schedule, you know that in your area at 6 p.m. the lights are going to go out. I've been in this country for years. The light only went out once for 20 minutes and people made a big deal out of that. So things like that become normal. You are not trying to contribute money as neighbors to construct the road in front of your house. You are paying taxes and they are fixing the street and they are sweeping the street and they are carrying your garbage. There's no garbage overflowing. It is not a perfect world, but certain things like water, food, electricity are available. You don't have to think about my light going off, my tap is not flowing, I got to call the person to bring the water to fill my tank, I have to go and buy water, I have to go fetch water in my neighbor's house. No. Those things are just by default. You don't get out saying, I have to sweep this pothole, my cousin died. There are accidents, there are crimes, there's gun crime in America every day. People go to schools and shoot kids. Fine, your kid can be shot in Ghana, your kid can be shot in America and everything. All I say is that the media here has a lot of presence, so the media always propagates information louder. I'm using the internet as a medium to communicate with you. But every street or neighborhood has its own radio or television, so anything that happens, you expect it to be televised. When I first came here, that was one of my culture shocks. Like on the TV and the streets they are talking about, it's like 4 or 5 streets away from me, or I have driven past them or have seen them. They were so close. But you don't have that back in your village where you are, where there's a TV station covering anything. Nowadays, we are lucky to have phones. People can put their phones in video, but there's crime rate. And this country has about 300 million people. So you don't expect it to be rosy. So, should you follow your partner or not? Do you want quality life for your kids? Everybody says for the kids' sake, you have to do it. The educational system is good. Even if your kid is in a public school or a private school, they will still come out as you want them to be in terms of knowing what they need to know, having an open mindset to be able to survive in society. The difference between the rich and the poor is not that wide because you're using the same light, you're using the same road and everything. But where some of us come from, you get to a neighborhood and you see the streets are different. They have a third road. The next neighborhood doesn't have a third road. Then you can just tell where you are. Don't get me wrong, there are hoods there. There are areas that are not great. You can just tell how the buildings are looking. But what they will always have a street. They will have water. They will have electricity. That's for sure. So, for the kids' sake, their future's sake, give them that chance. Don't make the decision for them. Give them the chance. And if they grow and feel like, oh, I want to go back home to Asia, I want to go back home to Africa, I want to go know my roots, they have that decision to go. Rather for you to wait for them to grow and then you start telling them stories that I can relate to. Someone said, oh, back in the day we had a chance to go to Canada, but I did not take the opportunity because I didn't know what was going to happen. I wish I had taken the opportunity now. You denied your children and your entire family the chance of having a better life. People are here raising their kids. They are still speaking vernacular to them. The kids are speaking Yoruba, Igbo, Ewe, Itri, anything at all. They are still speaking if you want to. It wouldn't be the same as being back home, but it has its pros and cons. There's loneliness here. Extreme loneliness. As I said, you'll be yearning for attention, but there's nobody to talk to. You don't know your neighbor's name. You don't know your neighbor's house. Nothing like that. All you do is work. You see people coming on, say, making videos, don't come to Canada if this, don't come to UK if this. The code is here. It's not favorable. It's not built for people like us. People are making it work. There's loneliness, there's crime, there's cold, everything. But the only advantage is that when you want a job, you search for it, you apply for it. By the end of the day, one of them will definitely call you back. When you go to school, you come out, you know that you are certain that you find a job one day. People have finished school. I interviewed a nurse on my channel, 2019, 4 years now, she's still at home, jobless. How do you expect someone to survive? A female child. She got to buy pad. She has to buy credit, data to use her phone. Where will she get that from? That is why they all resort to chasing men, following big men around who can give them daily bread. Some of them, you cannot fault them for it. You cannot blame them for it. But some of them is just extreme greed. This is calling a spade a spade. The system is not supportive. There are brilliant people that are extremely brilliant I start in class with that are way better than me academically, and they are struggling to make ends meet. There are so many men who are running away because they can't commit. To marry an African woman now will not cost you anything less than 10,000 USD. The list the family will give you, the items you have to buy, the house you have to rent to accommodate two of you. You got to change your location. You have to rent a car. A lot of things. By the time so people are in relationships, they've tied a woman down 10, 15 years. They can't marry them because it's so expensive to keep a woman these days. Some of us have relocated, and the things we've been able to do back home are marvelous because the system is enabling. You work, you get the money, you pay some in tax, but you still have some left. Recently in the news in Ghana, people have lost their monies that they've invested in bonds, stocks, treasury bills, and so on and so forth. There are scammers out there. People are returning to become fake prophets, and you can't contribute money for them, and they use it to better their lives and use it to run away out of the country. And the poor keeps suffering, and the rich keeps getting richer. Do you want your child to be in that situation? Do you want to deny them opportunity to relocate? Life abroad is lonely. You become very vulnerable. You're going to be crying the entire time. I am a very strong-willed person, but I have physical tears. There are days that I cry real tears, not crying within, crying and trying to buy a ticket to head back home. There are so many factors that will work against you, but with determination, you can. Trust your partner. Trust that person. Encourage them when they make the decision to relocate. The thing is like a spirit that falls on you. I have to travel. I have to travel. And you have to nurture that spirit and make it come true. People have made inquiries, nurses, I want to relocate. They come with so much energy, and then when they fall back, they are gone. I go and reach out to them. You asked me this 2 years ago. Why are you still there? You haven't made a move. So when your partner has the urge to travel, don't stop them. They can go right, it can go left. They can go there and say they're done with the relationship or they are done with the marriage. They can also go there and come for you. Make sure you have an active passport at any time for yourself and the children. Get their birth certificates. If there are any children that are with you that have been adopted and you wish to travel with them, be that for domestic reasons, there are means to do that as well. There are visas to apply for domestic staff to help you, but abroad we do everything by ourselves, just so you know. But if you can afford the means, there are opportunities people did not know about. You can bring someone to come and take care of you and your kids. Just know that the first few years, somebody's going to stay home. The first few months, 3 months, 6 months, you stay home. I stayed home for 3 months before I found something. And be open to trying anything. Don't say that I used to work in a bank in Ghana. I can't come to America and be working as a cleaner. You're still going to get paid. And that money is the same dollar bill that can buy the same thing the doctor is using the same dollar bill to buy. You got to start from somewhere. If not, you'll suffer. It will take years to get your license to practice as whatever. It will take some time to know people to even enter the business firm or the law firm or whatever that you use to work back home. You got to start from somewhere. The problem people have is they are not willing to start from somewhere. So as soon as they come and it's not working, then they start to panic. If you have to wait trays, be a waiter, clean, whatever, be a nursing assistant in the meantime, do that. Just know that it's temporary. Actually, that is even going to give you the edge and motivation to get out of that zone. As I shared my story before, I was a senior nursing officer before I left Ghana and came to the USA. I had to come back several steps back and be a nursing assistant for 2 years before I wrote my license for American nursing and then began working as an RN. If I had said no, I'll stay home and do it, it was going to take me 2 years to stay home. And you know what that does to you when you stay home? You're not going to integrate. You're going to be a burden to your partner because he or she is going to go to work and you are staying home studying for 2 years. They're going to come back home and see you and get pissed off and frustrated and going to have issues in your marriage. Abroad marriages suffer a lot. You've heard people who have shot their partners, people who are fighting, neighbors calling people, people backing out. You see this person is married, they go abroad and they are separated. It's very intense over here. This is not to scare you. I said this is, call it a spade session. Truth, unquoted, should not sugar coated, just as it is. You would survive. It will take you some years to find your feet. But when you do find your feet, you wouldn't regret it. You wouldn't look back and say, I shouldn't have done that. Your life will become way better. The first 3 years, you are all stressed. We all become very skinny. Some tend to gain weight because of the stress. You are all looking a mess. And as soon as it's time to settle, you begin glowing differently. It's possible, it's doable. Support your partner who wants to travel, who wants to go study abroad. Don't discourage them. Sometimes you feel somebody is holding you back. Your relationship, your marriage is holding you back. You feel stagnant. Do not blame your partner for holding you back. The woman will take a step back and have kids while you are pursuing the school. When she's done with the kids and she wants to go, allow her to also climb high. Her friends are pursuing PhD, but she took a step back to hold the family down while she were far away. When you settle down, go back for your wife, go back for your husband, whoever you've left behind. And if you feel it's not working out, the decision is yours to take. I hope these tips have been helpful. If you have any stories to share, you want to come on my channel and share the effects of relocation on your relationship or your marriage, your loved ones. Our family members are home calling us, asking us your siblings' school fees. This person is sick. This person has fallen sick. This person has cancer. This person has lost their job. This person's thieves broke into their shop. This person's house has collapsed. All pressure is on you. So that same income, you are trying to help your partner and your children back home, trying to help your parents, your partner's parents, trying to do a project. Focus where you are. Buy a house, live comfortably. If you build a house back home, you're not going to be going home and living there anytime soon. That is not to say don't do projects back home. Feel free and do it. But you cannot be renting and have 10-bedroom mansion locked up in Asia, Africa, wherever you are. Make sure you're comfortable here and also make sure those at home are okay. There are some things we can solve. There are some things we have to let them be. If not, family members will drive you nuts. Family members will let you lose focus. The woman or the man you promise to stay true to and bring them here and do this, try and work towards that goal. When you come abroad, be careful of our associations. I'm saying this to my African brothers and sisters. Oh, African Women's Society and Nigerian women this and that. Some of these things can break your marriages in a blink. There's so much competition. Who has bought a big house in this neighborhood? Whose kids are in these spots? Who is driving this? Who is sending money home? Whose daughter has married? Whose car? Who is doing this? Whose wedding ring is this? Whose husband is doing this? They'll start calling you your husband. They've seen your husband here. They've seen your wife here. Come to our house for this event. You have to return the favor. They came to your house. The drama. Stay away from the drama. I know why I'm telling you this. Some of us were lucky we had this information way before we came to America. So we try to stay a step back. You need a social system. You need a support system. But be careful which people you are mingling with. Your circle can make or break you. The people you surround yourself with should be like-minded, positive-minded, focused. Don't let anybody distract you. Don't let anybody enter your house and infiltrate and destroy the union. You guys have sacrificed a lot and been together for over 20, 15, 13, 10, 4 years, and then you come abroad only to watch it fall apart. Marriages abroad are hard. Marriages abroad are suffering. Friendships and unions abroad are suffering, but they're happening back home too. I think we need more people to come and let's discuss this better. Thank you for watching. Share this video with others. If you want to share your experience, let us know. If you're back home or if you're in another country that is not your home, just for daily bread, greener pastures, come and let us know what is going on. And I will see you in my next video. Take care and bye-bye.